My husband got a paternity test on our daughter, and it came back negative. He accused me of cheating, but the reality was so much worse. I don't know how it happened and I haven't been able to stop crying all day. I've never cheated in my life. I love my husband, we've been together since college and he's the love of my life. He's handsome and kind, and while I've slept with 2 other people, both were before we got together. There is no other potential father for our daughter. We were married already and actively trying for a baby. I don't know why or how it came back negative, but it did, and now he thinks he's not her dad. It's like he'd become someone completely different from the man I married. He was cold, and was constantly suspicious of me. He kept demanding to see my phone, and wouldn't tell me why. At first I showed him without hesitation, but eventually told him I wouldn't anymore unless he explained why. He's been distant with our daughter too. He stays in his office for hours on end, and I don't know what he's doing. I did not cheat. He accused me this morning, saying he'd done the test after realizing that our daughter's brown eyes wouldn't naturally come from ours, which were blue. He told me to get out of the house. I remember being in my daughter's room crying, and feeling terrified. After letting my feelings cool down, I went to have a conversation with my husband. He was out of his room, and we started discussing things. Once again I tried to tell him that I would never cheat on him, but he wouldn't listen. He said that to ever consider staying in this relationship, I would have to get a list of tests done. He said if even a single one came back as negative, or in favor of me cheating, he would leave me. Just like that. For the following weeks, I was at the doctor's constantly. I was determined to prove my innocence, so I went through with his plan. Well, the final test I got done, as a last-ditch effort, was a paternity test for myself. I thought this was ridiculous, as I was the one who gave birth to her, but I did it anyway. Like I said, I was adamant on keeping my relationship. I got the test done, and they told me it would take a few days before they had the results. Those few days went by like a snail in honey. It was taking forever, and every day that passed seemed to be getting worse. Finally, the day came, and we received the results in the mail. I opened the letter, and to my utter horror, it was negative. I was extremely confused, and when I showed it to my husband, he was even more confused. As it turns out, this baby not only didn't belong to my husband, but wasn't mine either. What does this mean? I asked my husband. He looked puzzled and had no clue. We took the results to our doctor, and he was shocked. He hadn't seen this ever in his career, but he had heard stories. As it turns out, this baby was not ours. On the day our daughter was born, she was accidentally switched with another child. Our daughter was somewhere out in the world, and we hadn't a clue until now. I burst into tears, and my husband quietly sobbed beside me. I didn't know what to do. All this time, we've been raising a girl who wasn't ours, and our real daughter has no clue. I started off crying, but it quickly turned into anger. I got into contact with our lawyer that day, and we went into the process of suing the hospital. We also demanded to know where our daughter was, since they had her record on file somewhere. They said it would take some time, but that they could locate it for us. I was livid. A week later, we sued for damages, and won in court. We were given a sizable amount of money, but we still didn't have our daughter. It took almost 6 months. 6 months for them to find our birth daughter's file, but we now know where she lives. I plan on visiting her soon, but I don't know what to say. The family she's staying with has absolutely no clue about this accident, and I don't know if I have the heart to bring this into their home. I absolutely want to meet my daughter, but I'm torn. If you're wondering, no, under no circumstance will we ask for either child to be swapped back. It's more a matter of closure. We still love the daughter we raised very much, and this hasn't changed that one bit. If anyone has any advice, please let me know.